Hello. Welcome to my channel. I want to say thank you for tuning in. I want to ask that you please the like button and subscribe so we can do this journey of self-discovery together. And I want to start off by introducing how my readings work, because I have a tendency to forget to tell people that I do 3 readings in a video. So I do a general reading, a love reading, and a finance reading. All of the readings are time-stepped in the description if you would like to look at that and skip to whatever interests you. But also, just as a disclaimer, sometimes I always do a general reading, but if one reading or another reading goes kind of over, because I like to keep my videos under 30 minutes, then I might not get to one of the either love or finance readings. But I always do the general reading first, so that always gets done. All right, so now that is out of the way, we want to jump right into the general reading. And you have the 10 of Cups reversed, the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and the 4 of Wands. Now, because this is a general reading, I'm going to save what I think that is going on here because this can apply to love as well, but I'm going to save that for the love portion of the reading. So there is some disruption in your home life is basically what's going on here, and you're not very happy about it. So hold on, I'm going to put some more cards on this 4 of Wands to kind of figure out here. Because there's disruption on the home front for sure. Okay. There's disruption. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. This is super specific. And general readings are not supposed to be this specific, but this is what I'm getting, and I'm just going to have to say it. Okay. There is a family dynamic, a relationship, a couple, but it's a family. So if you don't have a family dynamic, then this probably does not apply to you. But there is definitely a family dynamic here. Somebody wants to take a new career path or a job. So this ties into, like, the general reading is tying into love, and it's tying into finance. So we'll see if we even get to a love and finance reading, because this has all of the elements, all of the makings of a cake. I don't know. Anyways, you have someone here who wants to take a new career path. They got an offer. They are thinking about going back to school. They are thinking whatever it is that is a disruption in the family dynamic. This is like a married couple who has the house, who has the kids, who has the 2.5 kids, the white picket fence, that has the life that they settled for, right? And maybe the husband thinks everything is fine, everything is good, everything is okay. But one day their wife comes home and says, "Hey babe, I have to talk to you." And she breaks the news to her husband that she wants to quit her job and go back to school for accounting or nursing or something that the husband is like, where the hell is this coming from? You've never talked about. And then the wife goes, "Yes, I have. You just don't listen." And disruption happens in the household, and the kids are here arguing for the first time, and there's a disconnect between the mother and the father. And there's something here that has inspired one person in a household situation to take a new career path, and this is very specific to career or some sort of direction that turns them off a road that the people in their household thought that they were on, and deters that path because somebody has it that they want to do something new. And where one person is like, it's fine, it's okay, it'll work out, we just have to make some sacrifices. The other person's like, I don't want to make those sacrifices. Where is this coming from? And then you have the other person like, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. This is the path that I want to take, and I need you to support me in this. So this is causing disruption. This is causing disharmony. This is causing a unhappy home. Is what's going on right now. This is what's causing an unhappy home. Somebody's inspiration to take a new path, to do something that they feel is best for them, is causing an unhappy home. And there is a masculine energy here who is just not buying it. They're not having it. They're not sold on the idea that the path that they were both, it's like 2 roads that are diverging. right now, and something's going to have to happen to either bring these roles back together or walk away and go their separate paths. And that is a tall ask for a couple that has a family and has a life that they've built together, because this is definitely a couple and a family that has a life that they've built together. But one person is just like, I've sacrificed for a very, very long time. I've sacrificed for a really long time. This is somebody who feels like they've sacrificed for a long time. They sacrificed their family. They sacrificed their dream. They suppressed who they are. They suppressed who they wanted to be in order for that other person. For it was a collective dream, but it wasn't an individual dream. And that's the thing that you have to sacrifice when you get into a relationship and you decide to merge lives, is you have to sacrifice the individual for the collective. And this is somebody who feels like they've done that, and now they want support in pursuing their dream. And now they have to rethink some things. They have to rethink some things because it didn't go over when the person who felt inspired to finally pursue the thing that they wanted to pursue, or just somebody who's saying, hey, I want to quit my normal 9-to-5 that's helped us get to this stable point in our life, and I want to go back to school for journalism, which is what was my dream, when I first started college, but I gave up on it because I got pregnant and I had a family or whatever it was, and I want to go back. Because our kids are almost grown, they're graduating high school. I want to go back for journalism, and I want to go overseas and be an overseas journalism, a wartime journalist. That could seem like a huge shock for the people who've known you your whole life, and all of a sudden it's like, where is this coming from? But for the person, it's always been in their heart. They just had to sacrifice a lot of what they wanted and their dreams and their ambitions for the collective dream and the ambition. And now this person, for whatever reason, feels this is the time, this is the moment to step out of the collective and become the individual and pursue what they want to pursue. And because they have supported, whether it's kids or a husband in his career, whatever it is, it's sort of a disconnect here, because where the masculine energy is feeling like his dream was their dream, and you have to be a little bit sympathetic to that masculine energy, because it's like you made them feel like their dream was your dream. You made them feel like, because a lot of feminine energies do this. Whoever the feminine energy is in this situation, do that. You because you go along with the path of whatever the masculine energy is, and if it's different, maybe it's a masculine energy who has gone along with the feminine energy's career path. And that has worked, and at a time you were comfortable with that for a long time, maybe 15-20 years you were okay with that, but now is a time where you want the roles to be reversed, and you want your partner to support your dreams and to come with you on your dreams. It's a jarring experience, because that person always thought that their dream was also your dream. And so you didn't do a good enough job of being an individual while you were still in the collective, while you were still in the family dynamic, or expressing those individual wants and desires. So now that you are comfortable doing that, it comes as a shock to everyone around you, as of, where did this come from? When in reality, it's always been in you. And so now, because your dreams and your ambitions and your desire to have that support in your, desire to quit your 9-to-5 and go back to school and do the thing that you're passionate about, because maybe you saved up enough money, maybe you have it now in your life, maybe you guys spent the past 15-20 years building this income, this life, this, sustainability, and now you have it where that's your argument. We have the savings, we're comfortable enough, you are at where you're supposed to be in your career enough that we can make this sacrifice. I can sacrifice my 9-to-5 so I can go back to school to pursue my dream and my ambition. I just need your support. But there's something here that the masculine energy feels left out. They feel cold. They feel hurt. They feel as though they're taking it the wrong way. They're taking it the way that you are presenting it to them. This is how they're seeing it, that they stepped on your dreams. They feel they are internalizing your dreams, your individual dreams for yourself, as a personal attack on them, as if they're the reason you never accomplished the things that you wanted to when they were under the oppression, that your dreams were for them to accomplish their goals, and that was both of your goals. And so this is like the classic story of like a housewife, or not necessarily even if you're a housewife, you can still work, you know what I'm saying? But the masculine energy here, career, is clearly more further along or advanced than the feminine energy. And then, like I said, if it's reversed, then just flip flop it. Whoever the masculine energy is, because some women are in masculine energy. So if you're a woman who's a career woman who has, you know, a really good career, who is focused on like education and career and built that life, then you are in your masculine energy. So whoever the masculine energy is, built that career, and they just assume that their partner, that was their dream as well, for us to do this together, for me to have this career and you to, you know, be my partner, when in reality the partner was harboring all of these individual desires and wants and wishes, and maybe they never really vocalize that to their partner. Maybe they came to them and said, hey, you know, I'm really interested. It's like, yeah, I knew you were interested in that, but I never knew that you wanted to pursue that as a career. You never told me that. And then the partner comes like, well, I started off in college studying this and I gave that up because I got pregnant. And then it becomes like a bitch fest and a blame fest and a how come you didn't know this, and it just kind of deters and gets off track. And that is what is creating this unhappy home right now, because one person has expressed their desire to kind of do their own thing and go off and finally pursue their individual dreams, and it has the other their spouse or partner, whoever it is, feeling left out and feeling as though is really translating to the spouse or the partner as, you want to do this without me. And so I really feel like there needs to be a coming back together to understand each other's side, where it's presented more in a sense of, no, I've supported you in your career. Now I just want the same level of support while I pursue my dreams. So it's not so much of the person who's hearing the news. It needs to be presented in a way where it's not so much the person who's hearing the news and feel blindsided by this new course, taking that feeling of guilt, is like internalized guilt, that they somehow stopped you from pursuing your dream, and sacrifice, as if you sacrificed your dream for them, because they feel guilty about that. That's how they're internalizing it, and presenting it in a way that tells them like, this is a break in our story. It's not the end of our story. It's just maybe a divergent path in our story, where we were going one way and now we have a choice, because we've saved up, we've done what we had to do, because I was a supportive partner, because I allowed you to get where you needed to be in your career. We are able to now make some decisions about our lives. Our kids are almost grown. They're almost on their way out the house into college. We have enough money to put them through college. We have enough money to pay off our house. We have all of these savings. Can I please quit my job and pursue my passion and have you support me the way I've supported you over these years? You know? And so it's kind of needs to be presented in that fashion. And I think once it is, I split the deck, you'll get a much more positive response from your partner. You'll get a more open ear. You'll get and I know it wasn't the goal to make this person feel attacked or make them feel defensive, but that's just how people are. Sometimes when they get blindsided by things, when they think life is going one way and then the person that they're with kind of blindsides them with this new path, so it's just about presenting it differently, so that that person can feel included and not feel like they're being attacked or being defensive about why you didn't get to pursue your dreams all these years that they were pursuing theirs. Okay, so that is really what I'm picking up. And that's a little crazy, because I really feel like that was a relationship reading and a finance reading all in one general reading. But sometimes that happens, right? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the finance reading, love reading, because I want to see if something different comes out with the love reading than with the general reading, because that was very, very specific for a general reading, because it had a lot to do with people who are already established, who have like they're this is like a old, maybe a little bit older, you know, 30s and 40s, who kind of have their stuff together in life, have a family, have a savings, have careers and things like that. So let's see what's going on with love. And mind you, this love reading is for who you are currently dealing with. So it's not about a past person, unless the past person is who you're currently dealing with. And it's not about a future person or a crush, unless you have some sort of relationship with that person. Okay, so this is about a present person. Okay, so somebody here has dreams of marriage. Somebody here definitely sees someone as a wife. Now, this is the warning. This is going to be a very quick love reading because I just turned that over. Okay. So, it just got more complicated. It just got complicated. So, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. This is a good one. Okay, guys. So, you're going to have to make a decision. And this is going to be a difficult decision for you. So how do I explain this? How do I explain? This is a side note over here. How do I explain this? The best way to explain this. Okay, that's the advice. Okay. Hold on. Okay, guys. So the best way I can explain this is you are going to have a decision, a super huge decision in love. Okay, and it's going, and you might, you know, be hearing that and be like, hallelujah, I haven't had choices in love in a while. But this decision is going to rack your brain. I'm going to tell you exactly why this decision is going to rack your brain. You have somebody who wants to marry you. You have somebody who sees you as wife material, who wants to marry you, who wants to build with you, who wants to have grandchildren with you, who wants to go to the grave with you. They see you as their life partner. Okay, this is the dreams that this person has of you. The Queen of Pentacles came up in the reverse. I thought to myself immediately, red flag. So depending on the type of feminine energy you are, and I'm saying feminine energy, not male and female, feminine energy, this is a blessing or this is a curse. And as soon as I thought that to myself, the next card I pulled out was the Emperor in the reverse. And I want you to see these cards very clearly because this story is about to make a lot of sense to you. This Emperor is the quintessential, old school, old way thinking, masculine energy who wants a stay-at-home wife, who supports his goals and follows his lead. Till death do you part. That is this masculine energy. He is the Emperor in the reverse. He does not take lip from his wife. He does not take being questioned from his wife. He expects his wife to do the wifely duties, and he goes out and he makes the money, and he expects to be the head of the household, and he expects to be respected. Very traditional, old school, masculine energy. And he sees you as his wife. Now, what are the pitfalls of that? What type of feminine energy are you? Can you handle that type of masculine energy? Is this the life for you? It's very conservative, sort of almost 1950s, wearing an apron kind of life. You're not going to go off and be a doctor. Why are you with this Emperor? The Emperor might be the doctor. He works 12, 13-hour days. He stays on and, sometimes 24-hour days. He expects you to be the proper homebody wife, to raise his kids, and to be that woman in his life. That's what he expects from you. Are you the type of feminine energy who's okay with that? You need to make that decision very clearly right now, because this can go very bad very quickly if you decide to date this man, get engaged to this man, marry this man, have this man's children, and decide that somebody who is that, I'm going to say controlling is not the word, is that dominant. If a man who is that, or masculine energy is that dominant, is not the course for you, it's going to get very messy very soon. And you know this, you're very intuitive, you know this type of person. I don't know if they've told you this is the life that they want. Maybe you've had conversations with this person about how they see life, marriage, kids, and maybe that doesn't match up with you. Maybe you're a little bit more liberal. Maybe that's not, maybe this person is very Christian and you're like, my kids have to go to church and they have to be very, whatever it is. And you were in your head like, this is the ideal man, but there are certain philosophies and ideas that just don't match up with us. So you're going to have to decide if this is okay with you. And I think that is what's bringing in the conflict, and not so much conflict, but really a contemplation. This is not the fairy tale. And this is a very practical, like I said, 1950s sort of life, right? And the one thing you can say about the women in 1950, yes, they had a man who took care of everything, but they didn't have any autonomy. You know, I remember seeing an interview once with a couple, and it was, you know, how they do all these interviews, like how do couples stay together, people are always fascinated by the couples that's been together for 50-60 years and whatnot. And I interviewed this older couple, and the woman, they were in their like 60s or 70s or something, been together since they were like teenagers. You know how people got married at like 14-15 years old, or started dating back in the 1950s and stuff. And so they were talking about their relationship and how they kept it fresh. And it was a very traditional, he went to work, be gone 12 hours a day, but when he came home, he had food on the table. It was fresh. Daddy got the big piece of chicken. The kids were together. They were dressed. They were in bed. The house was clean. It was very traditional. And the wife, she was like in her 60s or 70s or something like that, and her whole face was made up. She was like a Dolly Parton. She reminded me of like a Dolly Parton character. And the one thing she said that stood out to me, and I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old watching this, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I could be that woman. I'm super liberal. I don't know if I can do it. She said one reason why their relationship has never failed is because in 50 years of marriage, she has never let her husband see her without makeup. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? In 50 years of marriage, of knowing this man, of being with this man every day of her life for 50 years, she has not one time ever not had makeup on when this man looked at her. So when I say there is some contemplation here about the type of feminine energy you are, and if you can handle this type of masculine energy, because he's going to provide the life for you. He expects a certain type of wife. Are you that certain type of wife? Okay? And so that's where the contemplation goes in. It won't be void of love. This man is going to love you, but he's going to love you a very specific way. And if you break out of that box of how he wants to love you, then the relationship is going to get very messy very soon. So you're just going to have to decide what you want, what type of person you are. Can you handle that? Right? And so the option, I say you're going to have options here, and the option for you is somebody from your past. Now, the person from your past, you've already had a relationship with, you've already been there. It's like been there, done that. And so for you, I think you've already come to the conclusion that going back to the past is a bad decision, regardless of what happens with this new person, this emperor that's showing up in your life. Whether you decide to be with him or not, you were thought, you was like, well, I can go back to my ex. I think you've made a decision that I think you have. And if you haven't, you're going to contemplate and you're going to come to the conclusion that just because this emperor in reverse isn't really what you want, it doesn't mean go back to the past, because that's definitely not what you want. So this is a conversation here that you're going to have with someone, maybe it's this emperor, about potentially not taking this person's offer, not continuing with them when it comes to, because they're just too rigid. They might be a little too rigid for you. Like envisioning your life with this person isn't going to be like the butterflies in the Disney fairy tale sort of romance. Oh man, Beauty and the Beast just came to my mind. Beauty and the Beast just came to my mind. And I'm going to say this because this, I think, wraps up this story pretty concisely. Where Belle is at that time for that story, she's a very liberated woman, right? She reads. And that's like, I love Disney. But it's like, that's a sign of a liberated woman because she can read. But you have to remember the times that story is placed in. Yes, and you have all of the ditzy females who are glammed up and really pretty, and and they're just like, hey, Gaston. They would love that type of energy, that emperor in reverse energy. All they want to do is be pretty and do their nails and be a housewife and not have to think about things and let their man control everything and do everything and just, spend his money when they can. They would love that life. And he had plenty of options who were about that life, but he didn't want those options. He wanted Belle, and Belle was a liberated woman who wanted a career, and she liked to think, and she wasn't impressed by Gaston, right? And his masculine energy and his domineering energy and personality. She wasn't impressed by him, right? And so She went and she found her beast, and her beast allowed her to be the person that she wanted to be, the person who she had a library, you know, and it was okay for her to read, and it was okay for her to think, and it was okay for her to have a personality, and it was okay for her to be herself. Obviously, the story, you know, does what the story does, and it takes time for the Beast and Belle to get there, but they get there because that's her match, right? And she could have settled for Gaston because Gaston was always going to bring home the bread, right? But she had to live in a box, and she had to move the way he wanted her to move, and walk the way he wanted her to walk, and talk the way he wanted her to talk, and be the female that he wanted her to be, right? And Belle just didn't have it in her. She knew that about herself very early on, and that's why she was never impressed with Gaston. I think there's something about you that's still trying to figure out if you could be that person that would be with a Gaston, or are you too liberated to be with that type of character, right? And so there's something here about a conversation that will take place. I don't know that it will bear the type of fruit that you want it to bear. You might decide to just ghost this person. Maybe you might have a conversation with them and it doesn't necessarily go all that well. It's like having a conversation with somebody about your concerns, about what they want out of a relationship as opposed to what you want. And they're very rude and abrupt, because that's the emperor. The emperor is like, no, I said this. This is what I said, and this is what I meant. And you're expecting a little bit more of an exchange, and this person doesn't have exchanges with people. He's the emperor. He definitely doesn't have exchanges with his woman. This is what I said. This is how it is. This is how it's going to be. End of story. And that person comes at you a little bit abrupt and crude, and you're like, oh no. Oh no. So there's something that's going to happen that's going to make this decision for you, and it's going to be very clear of the type of woman that you are. And that is what you're going to base your decision on. All right, guys, that's very entertaining there. But let's go on to the finance reading very quickly. Finance reading. The finance reading, because I don't have much time left for this. So what is going on with your finances for this reading? Come on. A lot of cards wanted to come out there, and I am... So, not a whole lot is going on with your finances. I'm going to be quite honest with you. And I don't think you're very happy about it. You were expecting something to come through with your finances, and it didn't. Yeah, it did not come through. It did not come through. So this is what I'm getting. I don't know exactly what it is that you were expecting. Yeah, you were definitely expecting some communication. Yeah, definitely. I say you're expecting Look, guys, sometimes I'm amazed by tarot, and this is why I continue to do it. The Knight of Swords, which, of course, you know, the Knight of Swords, Knight of Voices. I say you're expecting communication. Voices is communication. Am I not right? And the Six of Pentacles is about receiving material. Six of Pentacles, traditional Rider-Waite, is Six of Pentacles. Pentacles are money. You were expecting some communication about receiving some money, and that did not come through for some reason. So I'm not going to make this finance reading super long, but I'm going to tell you, if you are expecting something, it's a business deal or a paycheck or some sort of, like, maybe your income tax got held up or something where you were expecting this money to come through, or this business deal or this job or whatever it is that have to do with your finances, it's not coming through this week or immediately, and that has you upset. So I just want to give you a heads up and let you know that the thing that you're expecting financially to come through for you is not coming through. I cannot dig deeper into exactly why that is. I think that's for you to kind of dig deeper into, but I'm getting the vibe that whatever it is that you're expecting it from, they don't really have a lot of answers. It's just bureaucracy of being, like, held up. It's not like you're not going to get it or somebody's trying to screw you over. I'm not getting those vibes. It's something's being held up, specifically if it has to do with paperwork or something being pushed through. It's definitely being held up. So the date that you were expecting to get this thing, it's not coming through, and you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. So that's a little bit disappointing for you for that. All right. So that is what I'm getting for your finance, your love, and your general spread. Please do not forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.